Alright, we're going to start this again. I have to play around with the settings in my streaming software, but I think I got it fixed. Our frame rate is back up. So we're going to be taking off from Jacqueline Cochran Airport, used to be known as Thermal. This is an airport that's just south of Palm Springs. So we're going to be flying to Whiteman Airport, just north of Los Angeles. It's actually right next to Burbank. So let's get going here. Yeah, figure out where I'm heading here. I'm not quite familiar with the ramp here. Should have taken a turn there, huh? Yeah, there's no ramp here. Alright, we'll do a quick UE. Anyway, we're going to be flying a VFR. Real world weather with Ortho4XP scenery. Let's see. Find my way around the airport here. Flight time today is roughly about an hour, but we're going to go as fast as we can. And like I said, we're going to be doing VFR flight here. We'll see what the weather shows up. I have X-Plane set up to give us real world weather. And since I live in Southern California, I can tell you there's a few thunderstorms out over the hills. But you know how weather in X-Plane seems to kind of takes the weather observations and does its best there. It doesn't exactly show thunderstorms here. It's just got the cloud decks over the hills. So we may run into a little bit of weather here coming in to Whiteman. Try not to screech the tires here too much. Got a little bump right here again. This is from the stitching of the scenery and flattening of the airport. I don't know. There's a bump in the runway. It kind of runs across the scenery right there. But we should be off the ground by the time we hit that. Even if we do, it's a small bump. Alright, let's slow ourselves down here. We got quite a fast taxi. And let me just make sure everything's set over here. Alright. And I just trimmed up a little bit right there. And we got minimum fuel for the flight here, but plenty for the route. A little jumpy here on my taxiing and holding the runway, but that is because I'm using a Xbox controller for the flight. And I'm using my trigger, left and right trigger for rudder and ground controls, ground steering. Alright, that's much better frame rate. The last time I did this, the frame rate was at like 20. Ugh. I am going to hit the autopilot here, and we'll go to heading hold just so I can jump off and double check to make sure that the sound is coming up right. Heading, there we go, heading hold. We'll go VASI 500. That'll get us sped up nice and quick. So I will be right back. That'll get us sped up nice and quick. I will be right back. Alright, I just wanted to make sure that the sound was all good. So, this is, I guess, Imperial Valley. We're heading north. We'll fly right over Palm Springs. Coachella, I think that's right around where we're at. Someplace down here. Not sure where they have the concerts, but this general area. Let's take a look outside here. If I remember my keys. So we're looking south. That's the Salton Sea. There's the airport we just took off from. And we're heading for Palm Springs, which is right down in this area, just ahead of us. Go ahead and adjust my mixture here, get our max RPM going. And again, this is just a fun flight. We're not doing real world procedures here. Just trying to get there as fast as we can. Take a look at the scenery. Eyeball it here. Now I'm not taking the most direct route, and let me see if I've actually got it in the autopilot here. Yeah, it's actually in the autopilot. So if we activate this, yeah, direct, no, clear, direct, yes, flight, keep playing around with this thing. I always forget how to use it though. Whatever. I know where I'm going. But what I was going to say here before I got sidetracked, so we're going to go over Palm Springs, which is dead ahead here. I want to go as fast as I can, so we're only going to climb up to, let's say 4,500. We'll stay VFR. We're not going direct. We're going to kind of go around this mountain right here. This is the mountain, I forgot the exact name of it, but this is the one that's got the little tram or aerial tram thing that goes up from down at the base here in Palm Springs up to the top someplace. But we'd have to climb out to like 10,000 feet or something to get right over it. So we're going to scoot around the side of it here. And we'll try to go as close to it as we can. And go through, I think it's the Banning Pass here, which is just past the mountain here. I'll actually play around with this and just set it so it'll give us a estimated time of arrival. Let's see. So yeah, we want to go K. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. K. Right. What was it? KW. Whiteman, K, Whiteman, there we go. WH. Whiteman, enter, there we go. Wrong way. So you can see there's Palm Springs. We're just scoot just off to the side. Actually, we're going to go right over the airport because we don't want to go direct to Whiteman, like I said, because we got that mountain in the way. And there's Whiteman. Just past, we got Riverside, San Bernardino, Ontario, and into Whiteman. Pretty much going to fly just north of downtown LA. Just adjust our course here just a tiny bit so we can scoot just around the hillside. Lots of golf courses here in Palm Springs. I think if I owned a house here, I would definitely go paddle boarding all throughout this thing right here. We're coming up to our altitude, so let's go ahead and we'll click altitude hold here at 4,500. Right there. All right. And it looks like our fuel mixture is good, so we are clear to go. Now I've got the Ortho4XP scenery in here, and you can see some of the little patching that it does. Let's go outside and I'll show you this. Outside, this way. So you can see this stuff in the foreground, the lighter stuff, is all the photorealistic scenery. The stuff in the background here is the default, which actually doesn't look too bad. It's a little different. Obviously, when you zoom in on the default, it actually looks better than when you're zoomed in on the resolution of the Ortho4XP stuff. But from a distance, it looks much more realistic, even though the shading may be off at times. And building placement is pretty good. I mean, you can see here, these are all houses, and you can see where X-Plane tries to put all these little houses in spots, but it doesn't get all of them. So you get three-dimensional houses here. Not placed exactly, but from altitude it looks pretty decent. And the photorealistic scenery obviously adds the actual housing, looks much better. There's Palm Springs Airport. And not sure why that's jumping around on me. Let's see, the FBO is right here. And believe it or not, they have a swimming pool in here. Or at least they did the last time I flew to it in real life, which was quite some time ago. It was pretty neat that you could stop at the FBO and actually go swimming in a swimming pool. Last time I was there, I didn't go swimming, but one time we flew out there from San Diego, which is a quick hop, and we flew out there, went for a swim for like half an hour, and flew back. Kind of a little bit different than your you know, $100 hamburger and a $100 jump in a pool. Let's go back inside, and yeah, we should just miss the mountain here. And again, we're doing this for speed. I'm pretty much maxed out on the throttle. So I'll let it coast here for a little bit, and we'll start our turn once I get around this mountain. So the weather looks pretty nice. Actually, I just stepped away. I looked out my window, and I actually live in Southern California, back past these mountains in Temecula Valley. So when I'm looking out my backyard, I can see this peak that we're flying by right now, and that one right over there. Or maybe it's that one. Whatever. Anyway, I looked over there, and there's a little bit of clouds right over these peaks, so the cloud cover is not exact. Take a look-see here, make sure we don't run into anything. That looks pretty good. Real nice scenery. Now, I think in this ravine that we just flew by, that's where that tram is that goes up to the top. Let's go outside and take a look. Yeah. Goes up to the top someplace up here. Obviously it's not going to get caught on the photorealistic scenery. I don't think it's big enough. We're coming through the Banning Pass. What is there to see over here? See all these little dots right here? So those are actually shadows of, you know, the little windmill power generators. They're all in rows here, and what you're seeing is the actual shadow of them. Row and row and row of the shadows. You can almost see, you don't actually see the windmill itself, obviously in 3 dimensions here, but the Ortho4XP scenery, you know, when the satellite passed over it, took a picture, and it actually caught the shadow of the windmills. And it's pretty good placement right here. You know, right through the pass right here, because obviously the winds come screaming down either one way or the other right through this pass between the 2 mountains. Gets funneled in right into the field of windmills. Alright, we'll start our turn here. get lined up with Whiteman, try to get there direct. What do we got? 38 minutes. Direct course 275. 275. Where is that? Someplace right there. The autopilot settle down here. Get the Banning Airport right below our nose here. We'll keep cruising here just for another minute. I'm going to step away. What do we got for a time here? 35. We must have a headwind or something. What's our ground speed? 134, huh? Oh, we just hit something. We're hitting a little bit. Now we're hitting. Look at that. Did you see that? Ground speed just dropped and our time started jumping up. So we're hitting a little bit of headwind here. Yeah, we're starting to slow down. 38 minutes is kind of long from Banning Pass to Burbank. Should have checked the weather before I left. I don't know what altitude. If we climb up a little bit, maybe we'll get a better cruise. We'll go ahead and try that. Keep an eye on it. Now we'll do a small climb right here. And I'll just keep an eye on the our ground speed and ETE. See if we get an increase here anywhere. Yeah, looks like we got a few of those clouds showing up. There's a little bit more here in real life. Like I said, there's a couple of Q clouds popping up over the hills there, so at least it's picking that up, the fact that there are some clouds and it's not totally clear out over the mountains here. Let's see, what are we at? 5,000. I'm not really getting any kind of indication that we're going to get a tailwind or anything here. Though we kind of should in real life. The flow is kind of out of the southeast, so we should actually have a tailwind. Anyway, we'll let it go here a little bit. I'm actually gonna go grab something to drink here. We'll keep climbing and see if we get any better here in the next 1,000 feet or so. You know, doesn't look like we're picking up a headwind, or a tailwind, I mean. We'll go ahead and hold at 6,000. It should keep us below this little deck of clouds, too. Or most of them, at least. Come on, climb. Alright, there's 6,000. What do we got here? Where are we? This looks like, what's over here? Hemet is off in the distance here. And then we start heading for Lake Elsinore is back, well, back that way. I live, let's see here, see if I can spot my house. This valley right here. So the ridge line right over here that you see, actually if you look at the horizon, that's the ocean. So there's the ocean, and we got a little tiny ridge line, and there's a valley right in front of it. That's where I live. Whoa! I don't want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, there's Temecula. That's where I live. See if I can do this without going crazy. There we go. That's French Valley Airport. And I live, literally, right about dead center of the screen, someplace right there. Well, like I said, you can see the ocean right there, just over the little hills here. You get into Camp Pendleton, Oceanside. If you're heading down south, you start getting into San Diego. Let's see. We'll be probably popping in and out here. I can see through it, so that makes us VFR. Right? Adjust our course here just a tad. Yeah, 123, so we really ain't even gain anything here. We got a little bit of a headwind, I think. Right, I didn't adjust this, so let's see, 120, that's 130. We should be at 130, but we got a ground speed of 124, so we got like a 6 or 7 knot headwind component here. Maybe a little bit of a crosswind too. Take a look at this, see exactly where we're at. Yeah, Riverside is on our left. I'll zoom out one more. Let me see. So we got San Bernardino on our right, about 2 o'clock. Riverside or March Air Force Base or Air Reserve Base on our left at about 9 o'clock. And can't quite zoom it. Yeah, whatever. Get rid of that. Let's take a look outside. So let's see if we can see March. Yeah, there it is. Here's March Reserve Base. Got some KC, what is that? KC-10s sitting on the ramp. Couple FedEx planes, it looks like. Sorry for jumping around and you get zoomed in like this. Yeah, they look FedEx to me. Yep. Let's take a look out here. See if we see San Bernardino. Former Norton Air Force Base. They've got a nice little museum there. I've never been to it though. Back when I was in the Air Force active duty, this was actually one of the bases that I wanted to get stationed at. But a hazy day in LA. It's not quite this hazy in real life. Let me see where I'm at. So this looks like we are coming up to, or we're looking at, Corona and Chino Hills, Riverside. This is Riverside down here, I think. Chino Hills, Riverside, Corona off in the distance here someplace. Looks like the dreaded 91 freeway right there. I hate the 91 freeway. If you're ever in Southern California or you live here, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're ever visiting and you go inland a little bit from LA or Orange County, you'll be on the 91 freeway. It runs east-west all the way from like, you know, I don't know, whatever, Long Beach, all the way inland to here, through Corona and into Riverside. Pain in the ass freeway. Constantly congested, no matter what time of day, practically. I'll be driving on it, what's today, Thursday, Saturday. Quite hazy here. 25 minutes, so we got 25 minutes to go. Before we get into Whiteman. We're still off our course a little bit, not a lot, but go ahead and turn a little bit here to the left. Try to capture our course that we got in the GPS here. Looks like we got Ontario Airport right in front of us. Yeah, this is Corona right here. Actually, all these little freeway elevations here. So this freeway right there is the 91 and the 15, which you take to head south. That's the 15 freeway. That goes down to San Diego and goes right by my house. A lot of factories or warehouses and stuff in this area. Again, right in front of Ontario Airport. I forgot exactly what the area is called right here, but I think there is a large Amazon warehouse someplace around here. You know, they use Ontario Airport. And if you get anything from Amazon, more than likely it flies into, when you live in Southern California, at least, and you get anything, a lot of times it flies into this airport here and gets sorted someplace down here probably, and then gets trucked off to you. I think that's Riverside. No, it's not Riverside. What is that? Ontario. What's south of Ontario? Let's go take a look. Chino. Yeah, Ontario. That's Chino Airport. Whoa, there we go. Got another wind shift there. Let's see if we pick up a little bit of tailwind. Maybe. I don't know. 123 it says still. View got a little clearer. Not a little bumpier. Let's see if we can see LA. Yeah. So right over there on the horizon is the ocean, LAX, all that good stuff. If you took a look at this, so you can see here's the Class B airspace. We're right over Ontario Airport, obviously, but the Class B airspace surrounding LAX is right there. And you can see KBUR, that's Burbank, Van Nuys right above it. We're going to Whiteman, which is kind of like right next to that. LAX, Santa Monica VOR, Santa Monica Airport, all that stuff is right there along the coastline. Just to the left of Burbank. We got a little bit of light chop right here, bouncing us around a bit. It's just that phone call there. So let's see, where are we at? Still flying over LA Basin. Looks like the visibility is clearing up though. Sorry about that, I'm looking at the freeways. Yeah, so this here is the, what is it, 71, 57? Can't remember, the freeway that runs all the way around here. Hold on, another phone call, my goodness. Okay, I'm off my phone call. So let me see if I get this right. We're flying by Pomona, and I think that's Cal Poly. Cal Poly Pomona. I think that's it. Either that or it's on the other side of the freeway. Let me see here. Did I get this right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is Cal Poly. Right here, and then right down the road, this is it's called Mount Sac. It's a huge community college, really big, and the reason I know that is because my daughter is actually going there right now. Yeah, she commutes from our house way down there, all the way to here. But she's only doing it 3 days a week, so. I think the dog agrees with me. Alright, 13 minutes to go. Let's see what we see out here. Let's see. Unfortunately, one of the things X-Plane does is it doesn't show the buildings from a large distance. So it's like if you were looking for downtown LA, right? Which I actually got to turn because we're going to fly right over downtown LA. It doesn't show the buildings, you know, from like a long distance like this until you actually zoom in. You can see how buildings are start popping up like that. See how they're disappearing? So there's the ocean. There's Santa Monica. There's LAX. Right there, you can't really tell, but I can tell right there that that's actually LAX right there. Got a ton of runways there. And like I said, downtown, we're actually going, we're a little off course here, right? Yeah, I gotta turn right just a tad, but let's see, downtown LA, where are you? Let me see. Probably right where this thing is here, yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get back on course. Let's take a look at this. I need to turn to a little bit here. I actually need to go over that little ridge line over just past Hollywood. So if you're watching this anytime 2017, you remember those fires that LA had? This hill right here, right in front of us, this is what was on fire. A little bit to the right-hand side of this freeway too, some of this hillside here was on fire. But for the most part, it was this one here. The freeway you see right here is the 210. This is what was closed as the freeway pops into view. Right as it goes through this is where it started, right in this area. Somewhere along here, and it jumped on either side of the freeway, and a lot of this thing got burned up. Right back behind it here, this is Burbank. There's Burbank Airport. You might have seen that on the news. There was a couple of people that posted some shots of, you know, just got here to Burbank, and they're looking at this hillside here all on fire. So, if you're not familiar with California or Southern California, you know, you've heard the term the Valley. Okay, so if you're in LA and they say you live in the Valley, okay, that's this right here. See this little valley? That is the Valley. Okay. Burbank, Glendale. Glendale's like right here, right at the mouth of it. Right. You got Hollywood. This is the Hollywood Hills right here. And we look over into the valley. You got Burbank, Glendale, you know, Encino, blah blah blah, all that mumbo jumbo over there. All the way down past, you know, if you keep going way down here over this little ridge line, you get into Simi Valley, which is just a, you know, section of town. But this is the valley proper if you're in LA. And like I said, this is the Hollywood Hills right here. So this is Hollywood right down here. And Beverly Hills, and then you get into Bel Air, Santa Monica, right out the coastline. If you go around the corner here, this is obviously we're looking at the ocean right there. You keep on going, there's Malibu around the corner there. Let's see if we can get a good view of downtown. What is this? What is that? It's like a big racetrack. So that looks like Southeast LA. There we go. So there's downtown LA. Brings up most of the buildings. I guess if you fly over it, you know, obviously it's the one thing I wish they would do more realistic large cities. I mean, I'm sure there's aftermarket stuff to you know, that'll put the right buildings in the right spots and all that, but that's downtown LA. Right there is Dodger Stadium. Alright, so we gotta start our descent here, and we'll get set up for Whiteman. So you can see right ahead is Burbank, behind that is Whiteman just off to the right, and then Van Nuys just past that. So let's drop the heading, autopilot, altitude, get rid of all that. Go on manual here. So we're going to fly right over the ridgeline that was on fire here in 2017, what is it, September. We start our descent here. Low on fuel. I should just make it. And do a fast descent here. Fast by meaning I'm not going to throttle back. Says we're going to be there in 5 minutes. So a little, now that we're kind of over Hollywood right here, little movie trivia. Whiteman Airport was the location for a number of TV shows and movies back in the day. One that comes to my mind, if you ever watched the Andy Griffith Show, towards the end of that series, there's an episode where Aunt Bee learns to fly. She gets her pilot's license. That was filmed at Whiteman Airport. I'm sure there was a whole bunch of other ones that I can't remember what. That was the only one I remember offhand. Like I said, here's the valley. Here's Burbank Airport, or Bob Hope Airport, as it's called now. We come over here. Where's our airport? Where are we going? Right over here. Right there. So usually what I do when I fly in here, I actually head for this building. This one tall building right here that shows up on the scenery. Head right for that, and then you turn right on final along the roadway here. I think next flight we'll do a little tour of let's say Hollywood and LA. By LA I mean LAX. We'll fly over LAX over there and head south. We'll take a look at Long Beach, Orange County. We can take a look at Disneyland. Okay, I'm really high here, so I'm going to go ahead and throttle back now. Oh, where's my building? It disappeared. I can't even see it. So again, here are the hills. These are the ones that were on fire. I don't see our building that I usually aim for, but I see the airport. Another little point of trivia here, the fire here, you can see the freeway here, that's the 210, where it started. If you remember looking at that fire, you could see, I think they called it the Latuna fire, because there's a road that runs across the freeway into, and it's called Latuna Canyon Road. So a little trivia, right, that whole location, that whole section of the 210, back in the, I guess, 70s, 80s, that's when it was built. And when it was built, they actually did a lot of filming right there for the TV show Chips. You know, John and Ponch, California Highway Patrol. So all the scenes, or quite a bit of them throughout the entire show, is filmed on that stretch of the 210 freeway that was under construction for quite a while. And if you look closely on some of the episodes, if you take a look at the signs along the freeway, if you're ever into watching that show, I guess, you will see Latuna Canyon Road. There's Burbank. And the Hollywood Hills behind it. Griffith Park is up there, Griffith Observatory. Alright, I'm going to start dropping some flaps here. Get us slowed down a little bit. There's our building right ahead of us. Still a little high. And I have no clue what the winds are, but it's a big long runway. I actually don't know what this road is. I'll have to look that up. I drive through the area, I don't, or sometimes, occasionally I'd fly through the area, and I don't really spend a lot of time in the valley here. Now, a little bit low, it looks like. Give it some gas. We're at full flaps. This is kind of funny here. I did fly into this airport on the X-plane the other day, and it puts a palm tree. And it's not a skid mark. You'll see it as we come closer to the approach end. They got a palm tree right there that needs to get cut down. We got to kind of come in a little bit high so we don't hit that palm tree. Look at that. Look at that cypress. Holy crap. I need to cut that thing down too. Look at this palm tree. Buzz the palm tree on approach. Alright. Not too windy. Alright, we're over the numbers. Cut the power. Let's scoot down here. Flaring a little high, but that palm tree kind of got me a little frazzled. And that tower is not really that big. And this whole place is built up quite a bit more. Than it's actually showing. I don't think you'd have your car parked right there. Alright, well, welcome to the Valley and Whiteman Airport. I'll park it right here. You can take a look outside. Let's see, what is it? I gotta set my views. Here we go. So there we are at Whiteman. Yeah, I forgot what these things are called, but what are they, like Ferrari? Huh? I don't know. What do they got, like a factory here that this is where they do some of the assembling? Got quite a bit of them parked down the ramp. So we'll go ahead and shut down here. There we go. Till next time, take it easy.